Hello, and welcome to Skill of the Week for making moon craters. We are going to be going over two vocabulary words that I would like you to learn, and that is foreshortening and contour. Now, we went over foreshortening quite a bit back in second grade when you guys were drawing your flower pots and when you drew your sharks. Because remember when your sharks were a foreshortened C shape to get that turn that we were looking for? Well, we're going to be doing something similar, but we're going to be using foreshortening and contour and also the illusion of space in our drawing. So we're going to make it look like these moon craters are going back in space. So how we're going to be doing that is the foreshortening is, remember that circle that's foreshortened? It just turns, okay? And you start to see what kind of shape? An oval shape. So we're going to start with the foreground, which is the bottom part of the paper, and we're going to draw a foreshortened circle, which is a very narrow oval, okay? So how I like to do it, and you don't have to do it this way, I'll show you a few different ways of doing it, but I like to just kind of sketch out. I'm doing it with a marker so I can kind of get it light to start. See, really light. And then go back over it, and I'm making it darker for you guys. You're going to do it in pencil. Okay, it's not a perfect one. That's okay. Okay, just kind of drawing it out so that you can see it's a foreshortened circle. It's low in the page. That's because it's close to us. Things that are closer to us are down in the bottom part of the page. It's called the foreground. Okay? As we go up the page, these will get smaller. Okay? They'll get smaller this way, and they'll get smaller this way. So it will look like they're going back in space, and you'll see that as we draw it. So these front ones need to be really large, okay, because they're right close to us. We're going to make a rim on this, and it's going to be close to the edge there, okay? It's going to come around, and it's just going to tuck in just a little bit on both sides, okay? And then as we draw the crater part out, like, you know, a meteor has come and hit it, and it's created a little divot, and that's what the crater is, okay? We're going to come back out. See how far I drew that in? We're going to come back out to about here, and we're going to draw kind of a lumpy, bumpy object coming down and off the page because we're making this crater pretty large. Okay, I'm going to come over here, see where this is. I'm not going to start here. I'm going to move, and I'm going to draw bumpy, lumpy, not too bumpy and lumpy, just something that looks like dust has piled over and landed. Okay, and then I'm going to use that contour word, okay, and I'm going to create some contour lines. So I'm going to come across in just a few places. See how I'm curving, okay? That creates the illusion of a curved, rounded object. Just like when we were doing our flower pots, the flower pots had an opposite look, right? It came in like this, like an inverted triangle. And we colored across the contour, okay? So we kind of introduced that word back then, but I'm just kind of reminding you of it now. So when we go on to do our next one, I'm going to show you another way of doing your oval so that you can get an oval and not something that is a rectangle or a circle, okay? So what you can do is you can put your finger, okay, down. I'm going to put it kind of beside this other one. You're going to put your finger down. Now I'm going to have a hard time holding my thing up. I'll put my thumb down so I can lean it against me. And I'm going to put a little dot below it and a little dot above it. Okay, so see how close they are? Okay, they're fairly close. Look at how wide they are compared to this one. About the same, aren't they? And that way, you know, okay, I'm going to come this way. I'm going to come this way. I'm making a curved line, okay? And then I'm going to curve it back, and I'm going to curve it back. So even with a marker. I'm kind of making light marks. I don't want to go super dark right to start. I'm kind of sketching it out. That way, if I make a mistake, I can easily erase it. Now I can kind of just round everything out. Make sure I've got this rounded look. Okay, and then I'm going to make my rim next. Remember, I still got to follow those steps. My foreshortened circle first. Remember, foreshortening. Okay, we're foreshortening a circle. We're making it an oval. So when we're looking across them, they look squished. Okay, so we're going to make our rim. And again, we come in a little bit. We come over here. I'm just kind of sketching. We can always clean it up later. I can't with a marker, but you guys can with your pencil. Okay, see how far I'm coming in? I'm not coming all the way across. It's just a suggestion of the rim here. I'm going to come over here. Look at how close this is, but I'm going to come back up a little bit, and I'm going to bump a little bit, not tons. We want it to look natural, and I'm stopping there because it's behind this crater. Okay, and then I'm going to come over here. See where I stopped? I'm going to come back up, and I'm going to bump out off the page. Okay, and then I'm going to make some contour lines. That contour word again, contour. Okay, I think I want you to learn that word since I keep saying it. Okay, curve, and maybe one right here, maybe a short one. Okay, and then I'll do a little curve here, and maybe I'll just drop back down here because I know this would be over here. So we'll just go like that. That kind of gives the illusion of this rounded object. Now I'm going to use more overlapping. That's another trick that artists use to make it look like things are going back in space. And I'm going to come back here. I'm going to come in between these. And this time, I'm going to make my dots closer together. Okay, so I'm going to drop my finger down here. Okay, I'm going to dot here, and I'm going to dot here. Okay, so now, see how much more narrow they are? They're closer together. They're not wide like these. But this is still not so wide that it's a circle. We still need an oval. Okay, and this one I'm going to make it shorter across. I'm not going to make it as long as this one. All right, so I'm curving it, coming back, and coming back. Okay, so if I extend that line all the way around, I have my foreshortened circle, or an oval. Okay, it's back farther, it's up higher in the page, it's more like middle ground now. Foreground, middle ground, so what would this be? It would be background. Okay, so now we're going to make our rim again, and we're going to tuck it in just a little. Tuck it in. Okay, see where I ended? We're going to come up a little bit, and we're going to go out, and we're going to stop here because we're overlapping this one. Okay, this one might just come to here and just stop. See that? It's not coming quite as far as here. It's just kind of laying out, so it's attaching to the ground surface. Okay, now I'm going to make a couple of contour lines. Okay, we're going to talk about this when I get back, so make sure that you know foreshortening and contour. And if you know foreground, middle ground, and background, that's bonus. All right, so we're going to, this time on this one, instead of having one right beside it, I'm going to give a little bit of variety. I'm going to come up just a little bit more. So what would I do if I'm coming farther up in the page? Would it be the same size? Would it be bigger? Or would it be smaller? It would be smaller. So that means I need to be narrower and I need to be shorter. So I'm going to come up to here and I'm going to put my finger down. I'm going to make a little dot. This time I'm going to go a little closer. Okay? They're not right up on top of each other, and they should be because I kind of messed up. But it's higher up. See how wide this is? This is narrower. Okay? So again, on this one I'm going to make even smaller. Just kind of sketching it. Okay, it's okay if you make mistakes. See how I'm going out of my lines and everything? I'm not used to drawing sideways. So now I can just kind of clean it up. And if I had a pencil, I'd just erase my extra lines. Now I'm going to make my rim. Okay, again, I'm coming in just a little. But I always come, after I draw that, I come back out a little ways, not all the way out and not all the way in, kind of in between, okay? And I'm gonna make a lumpy crater coming out, okay? And then a few contour lines, okay? Not much, right? And I'm gonna do that same thing over here. Maybe this one I'll bring up even higher. This one I'm just gonna go ahead and put a couple of dots because my finger's probably too small for this one. And I can vary my sizes because maybe my craters are just plain smaller. Maybe just a little meteor hit this one. Okay, and then make my rim. Again, in between the corner here, or the edge, and my final part of the line, I'm gonna make my line coming down, making my little craters, my contour lines, okay? So see, as I keep coming up the page, my craters get smaller and smaller, okay? I'm gonna do another one here. This time I'm just doing a little oval, okay? Because it's harder and harder to make the dots once you get back farther. And the more you do this, the more you'll kind of just get the hang of it, and you'll go, wow, you know, it's easy to make a foreshortened circle. I just make a little oval there, and the farther I go back or farther I go up the page, the smaller my craters are going to be. So I hope you understand as you see this, the reason why these need to be so big is because as we work up the page, they get smaller and smaller. So if you make these really small, what's going to happen with these? You won't even be able to see inside the hole, okay? So once you get your craters made, I'm going to make another one over here just to have just a little bit more, okay? Make a few contour lines on these, okay? I can make the edge of my moon or my planet. If you want to make it a different planet, you could. So I'm just going to kind of make a curve. This is the edge of my planet, okay? That way you can make anything you want up here. If you want to make a comet shooting through the sky over here, okay? Or you want to make some stars over here, or you want to make a planet. Maybe I want to make Saturn over here in the side. Okay? And then maybe I want to make, since I got this big open space here, maybe I want to make a few more craters just to show that we don't have a huge concentration of craters only in this area. We have some in different places around our moon or our planet, whichever it is you decide to do, okay? And then I do have a book on creatures. I may get, it's like a few packets of animals or creatures, aliens, whatever. You can put a few aliens in your area here, you know, have them walking amongst your craters. If you want, you can have some of your craters kind of, maybe some of them have some toxic goo or some sort of steam coming out of them. Maybe they have almost a volcanic quality. So maybe you want to have some steam coming out of them. Or you might have a little alien popping out of the interior. And either way, it's fine. But we're going to be coloring these with colored pencils, and we are going to be coloring across the contour, just like we did when we did our flower pots. I want you to get started with the coloring first, and later we'll come back, and when I'm back, I'll show you how to color across the contour. Right? Thank you.